Se o perigo é alto, não dá pra se ter lazer. E quando preso no carro, me resumo a sentir a vida.
Fazendo papo, fazendo vento, sapo dentro, sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, fazendo vento, sapo dentro, sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, oi, o sapo dentro, sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, fazendo vento, jacarezinha, ponta verde, como pronto, levada, sapo de corpo, bebedouro de Araguá, oi, coqueiro seco do outro lado da lagoa, você atravessa na canoa, lamarão é no pilar, oi, que zoadeiro, fizeram aquela canaia, que os cabras da talaia me chamaram pra tocar, e o cabra do bombo, quando vai tocando mate, mas e o cabra da caixa não sentava pra ganhar, foi a caixa velha, tinha mais de 1000 vamos, mas e o cabra do bombo, tinha o pé de chapuá, oi, o sapo dentro, sapo dentro, o sapo fazendo papo, fazendo vento, sapo dentro, sapo dentro, o sapo fazendo papo, fazendo vento, oi, sapo dentro, sapo dentro, o sapo fazendo papo, fazendo vento, sapo dentro, sapo dentro, o sapo fazendo papo, fazendo vento, indo pro meu roçado, comendo meu bicho de saco no seu cucu, e ficou meu pé e correio, botei os dedos no ouvido e enrolei pelo caminho, e depois companheiro, a gente se morreu, fui a rico.
Alright, I did this room tour last night when it's probably pretty hard to see, but this really is a cool place. Really, all kinds of brand new cabinets, tons of storage on this wall here. Cool little fridge. Bathroom, not huge, doesn't need to be, perfect size. This TV, I don't know. I've almost hit my head into it a number of times going back and forth. So that's the only thing. But yeah, they got really cool stuff. It's all this stuff opens or whatever, which is cool. And of course, really, is this view. This view is absolutely stunning. I'm gonna have to nick them on the fake plants though. Not a fan of the fake plants. He's just, that's not good. But this view is absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. You know, when I picked this place, I picked it for location. What I didn't figure is just how close this stuff would be. So we'll start off Praça da República, right in front of the veranda here. And that old building is the old education ministry building. I don't know what they're doing with it now, but looks amazing. The building that looks like the Empire State Building out there, that's actually Edificio Martinelli. That's the first skyscraper ever built in Sao Paulo, 1922. It's only like 100 meters tall, 105 meters tall, but the very first one, right around the same time as the Empire State Building in New York. You can see the Art Deco style as well too. If you look right here, here. That big tall one, which used to be the tallest one in Sao Paulo. It's not anymore. Edificio Italiano. That was finished in 1965. To the right of that, obviously, is the iconic Copen building, Neymar's classic. That was finished, I think, in 57. And then finally, if you look way in the distance, you can see the spires, I think, of Sao Paulo's Cathedral. And that's one of the goals today, is Sao Paulo's Cathedral. There's a couple buildings which look to be just vacant, one over there, directly across, but this, I never figured it was this close and this in front. I mean, so many historic buildings right here in front of me. This was a great place. I stayed in Copen, I think like 5 years ago. View was amazing. Here I'm only on the 15th floor, but I can see all these other iconic buildings. This is a great pick. This was a great pick. All right, that's it. Oh, that's it right across from Praça da República. I do have a really nice view down here. I didn't think I'd be able to get out, but I can actually use it from both sides. I think Rua Augusto and esqueci outra rua. But these vendors look like they're just starting to set up, so that's pretty cool. We'll head over to the drogaria to get my COVID test, and from there on to the Catedral. That's it. It didn't take me long to realize that this large urban area was not a place where I wanted to be speaking English out loud and waving a camera. Let's get the COVID test in a way first, and then we'll do something fun. Knowing
there were a few drugstores, drogerias and pharmacias around where I can get a COVID test. I wanted to take advantage of that while I was here and explore the city at the same time versus getting to the airport 4 hours earlier than what I needed to. That was a mistake. Turns out they weren't offered, and I kind of put myself at risk walking around. This seems to be a common theme near parks, in around parks, vendors setting up to sell all kinds of different things. I did find some água de coco, some pastéis, of course. The park was exceptionally clean, even considering how many tent homeless encampments there were around. It was walking down this way where the nice lady at the pharmacy said, "Put your phone away, be careful, this is not a particularly safe area."
Say Sao Paulo is big is a gross understatement. It's big across and it's big from top to bottom. Oh, bad lens flare. I gotta figure out how to get inside. I think I gotta go to the back entrance. We'll see. Lots of police around here.
I really couldn't wait to see this iconic landmark of Sao Paulo, their Metropolitan Cathedral. What was just shocking was the amount of tents and homeless people, the abject poverty outside, right outside the church. You can see it. Was shocking. I was not expecting this at all. Inside, of course, was breathtakingly stunning. I don't know that I've been inside a larger church or cathedral than this, and although it's relatively recent, this really was amazing to see for myself. For a Sunday, it wasn't particularly busy. It wasn't quite a packed house yet, although I would imagine later in the day it could be. This was about 9:30 in the morning or so. It was easy for me to lose my sense of direction because I couldn't see the sky well. The buildings obscured everything, and I quickly became kind of confused where I was.
Welcome to the 25th floor. And as well, you can see the mountains. I think there's actually a state park around there nearby. There's a little bit of mountains. I don't know if that's pollution or clouds or what, but man, just see as far as the eye can see. This is definitely a different orientation than from my window. I don't see these same buildings. It's kind of like a hotel place where you could like rent rooms permanently or something. Amazing backdrop right here, that's for sure. This is the 25th floor. So I think, well, there's Copen, Edificio Italia. Copen goes, I think, to 34. It's higher than that. That's the tallest residence. Jesus. There's a cathedral. That's where I was earlier. And Mercado Municipal is somewhere up there. But honestly, this city, you know, it's inspiring looking up here. It really is. But boy, on the ground, it's rough. This is, you know, São Luís was rough, Manaus was rough, Belém was rough. This is a whole other level. And honestly, Sao Paulo scares me a bit. I feel over my head in Sao Paulo, no doubt about it. It is sketchy down there. Beautiful from my way up here. But on the ground, it scares me a bit. I don't like saying that either. T-minus like an hour or so countdown. Just want to point out, like, they really did a nice job with the kitchen area, storage, fridge, little range, little oven, cook whatever you want. What I find weird is they probably nuked 10, maybe 15% of the square footage with, let me put my arm across there, with all the storage. You got a little table, whatever, bed, but there's no place to actually do any kind of work. And you can say, okay, well, maybe it's a rental or whatever, and it's short term. Well, if it's short term, what are you doing with all this storage? There's a ton of it. There's just a ton of it. Drawers and whatever, which is great. But Like, this is not living space anymore. It's just gone. Why not put a desk there? And the other thing is this TV. Why this TV is where it is? I've ran into it every single time. It just seems right in the way. Put it up in the corner or whatever. And then in terms of the bed, make it a fold down, drop down, day bed, whatever. But you're never going to do any work here. And even just to sit down and relax, you don't really have that nook, you know. This is the spot, is the view, is the patio, but there's just not really a place to sit down, relax, or even do any kind of light work or whatever. But anyway, nitpicking, I know. I will miss this view, that's for sure. Yeah, I could just stare at this all long day. Well, that's it. Famous final shot of the bag. I remember standing out of my veranda from Fortaleza 2 years ago thinking, where to next? And not knowing, and I feel that same way now, is where to next. I don't really know. Aside from Natal, Ponta Negra, to see Kelvin again next year, I don't know where to go. I feel like I've hit all the major high points that I want to see, and maybe it's time to go back and see some of the places that I really, really liked. Maybe that's the direction I'm heading. I don't know. But either way, sad to be leaving Brazil. Not as sad to be leaving Sao Paulo. I just, you know, I wouldn't like New York. I wouldn't like, you know, Boston and, you know, downtown Chicago. Just big cities isn't. And I think that's kind of the same thing. I'm not in a hurry to come back to Sao Paulo. I'd stay in Brazil forever, but Sao Paulo, I'll fly into and out of. But other than that, that's okay. All right, probably the next video will be on the way to the airport, or at the airport, hopefully with a negative COVID test. Hey, all right, that's it. Ciao, Brasil. Vindo Terminal 3, Guarulhos. There's 3 levels here. I just got my antigen test finished up. I took the check-in, you know, web check-in, app check-in, took about 30 minutes, and I'll have the antigen test in about, well, exactly 2 hours. So until then, I'm just going to grab some food, wait on test results, and then when I do, I can just get it printed, not do the stupid, that's why I went right there, those guys are awesome, not do the silly Verify app. So that's it. All right, I have 4 minutes until my test results come in. That'd be 2 hours for the antigen test and then 4 for the PCR, the rapid PCR. But the U.S. only requires an antigen, so why wait 4 when I can wait 2 and then go check in? If you remember from many times here, American is at the other end of this terminal. This is the 3rd floor of Terminal 3 right now. Is LATAM. United is next to American, which I guess makes sense. This is where I did my testing. And then this is where I can print my results and just bypass that whole stupid Verify app, which is just broken anyway. All right, that's it. Well, I tested negative. Praise Jesus, gracias a Dios, I tested negative. That was the last kind of final thing that would keep me here, which would be just a crying shame. That's okay. We're gonna go see if we're gonna see if there's actually any staff at the American Airlines check-in facility. We'll go see. I'm bypassing the Verify app. Did me jack the first time. Shouldn't even ask for it. So we're gonna go paper way and see how that flies. That made it through customs, passport control, negative COVID test, which is wonderful. I'm early, but it's better than late. And don't plan on really buying anything at all either. Got sandals for the next little while. I probably could have actually sprung for a lounge. I didn't really even think of it because I assumed I would have my COVID test yesterday, but just getting in so late, I just needed sleep. So that's fine. I got time to repack. I did get screened, got pat down through security, bag got pulled. I was second one through that new line that they opened. So I think, not big out. So I think maybe it was just kind of routine, like, oh, let's start the day with a check. And hopefully they pass. They're all very professional as always. The folks from Miami and Chicago could learn something from the fine folks who work here at GRU, and really all airports that I've been to. Anyway, 304 should be my gate. It's showing Dallas right now because that's the only other American flight going to America this evening. United's got a flight going somewhere. I forget. Houston, maybe? I don't remember. But Dallas leaves in a little bit, and then ours leaves after that. So we're at the very end of the terminal. Well, very end, I think it's gate 301 is the very end. So we're a ways from that. So I'm at the opposite end. Terminal 3 is not huge. It goes from 301 to 330. And it looks like if I just go just to my left a little bit, I probably can start seeing planes at least landing anyway. But ATC is about there. You kind of can't see it. But I think we can catch some planes coming in at the end of Terminal 3 here, which is pretty neat. Well, no plane action at the moment, but I did just see a Gulf flight land a minute ago.
Meu nome tava na lista, meu boné tá numerado. Veio o cabo da guarda me chamando por vídeo, chamou de festa no exame na casa do capitão. Oi, que é Chifude? Parlamento, oi, o sapo sendo saque, o sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, e o papo fazendo vento. O sapo sendo sapo, o sapo fazendo sapo. Oi, o sapo sendo saque, o sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, e o papo fazendo vento. O sapo sendo saque, o sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, e o papo fazendo vento. Levada Camunê, Porto Bebedouro, Jaraguá. Oi, coqueiro seco do outro lado da lagoa. Oi, canoa, Lamarué no Pilar. Oi, suadeiro fizeram aquela canaia. Oi, me chamaram pra tocar. Oi, o cabra do bombo quando vai tocando marcha. Mas e o cabra da caixa não tentava o caganhar. Oi, a caixa velha tinha mais de 1000 homens. Mas e o cabra do bombo tinha o pé de chapuá. Sapo dentro, sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, e o papo fazendo sapo dentro, sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, e o papo fazendo vento. Sapo dentro, sapo, e o sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, e o papo fazendo vento. Sapo dentro, sapo, e o sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, e o papo fazendo vento. Sapo dentro, sapo, e o sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo papo, e o papo fazendo vento. Sapo dentro, sapo, e o sapo dentro, e o sapo fazendo